Hi, this is Matthias Chang once again from Future Fast Forward. In this address, I would like to share to you and bring up to speed various issues that have impacted on Malaysia as well as global issues that will have a huge bearing on Malaysia. But before going to the substance of those issues, may I seek indulgence to say a few words to my Tamil friends throughout the country. Vanakkam, Namaste. Tambi, Tamaji, Kaliamma சொன்னாங்க நாங்க நிருமிய இருந்து நபலாய் பட்டு கப்பங்கு எந்த அரசு வட்டிக்கிட்டு கசை வங்கதே remember கசை வங்கதே அது ஒரு பிரிய தவறும் பாவமும் don't forget that தவறும் பாவமும் ialah kata arsil vertikalai tuki eringel tuki eringel engguluka purinda seriye okay. Kaliamatuna Nadri. Thank you for your patience. I will now address all of you in English. Recently, you recall a month ago or more, I informed to the youth of this country and to all of you that our students are debt slaves. Soon before entering college or university, they have to borrow money to study. And I said to all the youth, the Pemuda UMNO, the Putri UMNO, Pemuda Barisan Nasional, the Line, all youth are now debt slaves. And I said to you that one of our programs, when we get rid of all the scumbags, the gangster politicians, the leadership of UMNO, who is responsible for the debt slavery of our young people, we will abolish that debt slavery. And to my surprise, just yesterday, I feel very flattered, it may be a coincidence, that the Republican candidate for President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, had made an announcement and say that on the first day of becoming President of the United States of America, he will abolish all student debt. I repeat, Donald Trump on the first day of his presidency will do away the debt slavery of US students, amounting to, right now, as of today, total students debt is US dollars 1.3 trillion. Wow. If he can do it in America, and amount is 1.3 trillion US dollars, what the students are owing in Malaysia is chicken feed. And I challenge Khairy, the Pemuda, Ketua Pemuda, UMNO, Barisan Nasional, to dare do this. And if he take up the challenge, he's not sincere. You know why? Because he did not think of this idea, he did not have this concept or this solution since when he became Ketua Pemuda. So if he adopt my policy, my resolution, my solution, he's not sincere. He's going to bluff you to get elected. You know why this issue is so important? If I may quote Donald Trump words, that these leaders in America who has made students debt slavery, these are his words. These leaders are not babies. They are in fact total killers. He used such harsh terms. total killers. They're not nice, sweet little people. Okay? And yet, there were some people, minorities, the Tan Sris and the fat cats, they say Matthias is using too harsh language. Here is a future president of US saying that those who have enslaved the youth of this country, of Malaysia, the Pemuda, the Putri, and all the other young people enslaved in debt by these leaders, corrupt, fat cat scumbags, are total killers. These are his words, not mine. Google and get a speech from Donald Trump. And yet, Khairy dare challenge to Mahathir in the coming by-election. This young punk has no respect for the elders. He's wet behind the ears, and he says he will protect the youth by virtue that he is a Ketua Pemuda UMNO and Minister of Youth. He's a coward, empty, kosong. Totally empty, zero. I will ask all of you students, Malay, Indian, Chinese, Dayak, Kadasar, zip Khairy lips, shut him up, and tell him to piss off. He's a scumbag, a liar, a traitor to your cause. And very interestingly, all right, again, in my previous speech, I warned the country that Petronas is in a mess. It's broken. And I drew the analogy, if Saudi Arabia, the so-called giant oil exporting, so rich so-called, and I said to you that they are bullshit, con man, con artists, and emperor without clothes. They are now in such a mess, such a shit, they have to sell Aramco assets to raise $2 trillion to cover up their debts and their fiasco, okay, in the Middle East. And recently, I believe is the energy minister of Russia, Alexander Novak, in the recent Sochi summit between Russia and ASEAN, he said there are ongoing negotiations with Petronas to buy up some of the Petronas assets. What does it mean? It confirms what I say. Petronas is in a mess, just as the Aramco is a mess. They have to sell assets to raise cash. And Petronas is the anchor of our economy, the anchor of the Bumiputera economy. It's the crown jewel of the Bumiputera. And yet, our leaders, so-called leaders, scumbags, is going to auction Petronas assets to Russia. Just they have to sold 1 MDB assets to the China Kwai from China, and also other assets, all right, under Malaysia, to the Chinese railway. They have no shame. They are selling your crown jewels, your heirlooms. So wake up. Wake up. Now, yesterday, there was another horrific news. And it's very important because it was reported by CNBC that Singapore has shut down the BSI Bank in Singapore because of the links and the corruption linked with 1MDB. If you bear with me, I will read to you the actual news coverage from CNBC, right? Okay. Singapore regulators have shut down a private bank implicated in investigations of Malaysia's troubled development fund 1MDB, with prosecutors in the city-state and Switzerland weighing criminal charges. And the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, which is equal to the Central Bank of Singapore, like Bank Negara, said this: BSI Bank is the worst case of control lapses and gross misconduct that we have seen in the Singapore financial sector. It is a stark reminder to all financial institutions to take their anti-money laundering response seriously. Quote unquote, Ravi Menon, Managing Director of MAS Singapore. And he goes on to say, if I may quote him further, Musk found considerable evidence of gross dereliction of duty and failure to discharge oversight responsibilities on the part of BISI Bank's senior management. Their ineffective governance led to a poor risk culture which prioritized questionable customer demands ahead of compliance with anti-money laundering regulations and the bank's own internal controls. Unlike our rubbish leaders and banking executives, it was stated that BSI has also said its group CEO, Stefano Coduri, has stepped down with immediate effect because of the crisis. And then he went on to say, one of the BSI bankers named in the MAS statement, Yak Yu Chi, a former senior private banker, already faces criminal probe in Singapore. Yak, who left the bank in March, filed an affidavit with the Singapore High Court early this year, denying any wrongdoing or receiving unlawful benefits from managing 1MDB accounts. And none of the names the MAS said on Tuesday it had referred to prosecutors was the former BSI wealth planner, Yo Jai Wei, who has been reportedly served with 7 charges related to 1MDB probe, including receiving benefits from criminal conduct, forgery, and money laundering. 2 others named in the MAS investigation are Hans-Peter Brunner, the Singapore BSI unit CEO, and Raj Sriram, the former deputy CEO. Another person by the name of Sia Yu Fung Yvonne, a senior private banker, was also being charged for crimes related to 1MDB. Now what I have, following that report, I have obtained the official press statement from the Attorney General Office of Switzerland, if I may read to you. It's dated 24th of May 2016, just yesterday. The Office of the Attorney General of Switzerland, OAG, has opened criminal proceedings against BSI Bank SA, and the decision to open proceedings is based on information revealed by criminal proceedings in the 1MDB case, and on issues raised in the FEMA decision on 23rd May 2016. The OAG suspects deficiencies in the internal organization of the BSI SA Bank. It is believed that due to these deficiencies, the bank was unable to prevent the commission offences currently under investigations in the criminal proceedings relating to 1MDB. And the press statement quotes 2 Swiss law, Article 102, Para 2 of the Swiss Criminal Code, which allows prosecution of a company that is suspected of not taking all the reasonable organizational measures that are required to prevent third parties from committing offences, and in particular money laundering or corrupt offences. The criminal proceedings opened on 23rd May 2016 against BSI SA Bank. It goes on to say, the information suggests that the offences of money laundering and bribery of foreign public officials carried under investigation in the context of 1MDB could have been prevented had BSI SA been adequately organized. What does that mean? Both the Singapore authorities and the Attorney General and FEMA of Switzerland has come hard on BSI Bank and make a finding that because of the management of the bank by senior officials of the bank, money laundering and corrupt offences have been committed. Now, it's clear to everyone, not only to Malaysia, but to everyone in the world, that crime has been committed by 1MDB. To the extent that Singapore deemed it fit to shut down BSI. But lo and behold, in Malaysia, AmBank, our local bank, headed by Tan Sri Asman Hashim and the Australians, who received all these monies, has not been prosecuted. The chairman, the CEO, and other senior officers have not resigned or prosecuted. How can that be? Why is AmBank not shut down by Bank Negara? When Zeti, the governor, the former governor, was in charge. I've been saying all along that she and her officers have been complicit in the cover-up. Although lately, she pretend to try to resolve the issue. But let me tell you this. Her actions belie her true stand on 1MDB. Because just before she retired, she says what? I want to close the case and pass the clean slate to my successor. What she do? She just make an issue that she has made a statement demanding that 1MDB repay US 1.83 billion, but no timeline. And then she just make a fine, impose a fine on 1MDB, but we don't know what's the amount. And therefore she says, 1MDB case is closed. And she can walk away. Contrast that behavior of Bank Negara, Minister of Finance, our Finance Minister Najib, to that of Singapore and Switzerland. They didn't close the case. They are whacking the officials of BSI Bank. They have shut down the operations. Yet, our scumbag leaders in UMNO, in NKT, still protect Najib and even threaten to sue people who have criticized 1MDB and Najib. This is horrendous. This is a shame, shame, shame on the integrity of our country and of our system. That's why I said to you repeatedly, Malaysia is broken. UMNO is broken. BN is broken. Alright? And yet, Najib's brother, Nazir, chairman of CIMB Bank, who received 27 million and laundered it during elections, pretend that he was innocent and stepped down for a while, took leave, so that there will be investigation whether his conduct in receiving 27 million ringgit in his personal account and personally supervised the disbursement of that money had committed no offences. How can that be? Or no misconduct. His action, at the least, it was not corrupt, facilitated money laundering. And it came from the brother of Najib. Yet, the country is asked to believe nothing went wrong. It's okay. It was whitewashed. Let me say this to all of you. If you allow this to continue, our country will go down the cesspool of shit, bullshit, and horseshit. And we will wallow in that shit hole for a long time to come. And lately, another point which I want to raise to you, Najib says he did not sign the transfer US 3.5 billion from 1MDB to ABA BVI. It was approved by the board of directors when the money went there. He's not responsible. When there's a fraud committed by this funny company, ABA BVI, owned by his accomplice Jolo and whoever, It's okay. I'm not responsible. The board of directors. But he forgot that under Article 117, the sole authority, approval, signing on all matters concerning what MDB is Najib, the Prime Minister, Finance Minister. He can't put the blame to the board of directors or to say that the board of advisors have no administrative function. My God, he does not claim responsibility or knowledge of the transfer of 3.5 US billion, but he even was involved in a small act of sacking the auditors when he refused to qualify, to approve the accounts. He wrote a letter, he sacked them. If he can micromanage the sacking of auditors who refused to audit accounts, what more can he say? Can he deny that he was not involved in the transfer or have no knowledge of the transfer of 3.5 billion US dollars to a BVI company controlled by his accomplices, the Arabs, Husseini, Kubaisi, and Jolo? Fiction, fairy tales. These are all scumbags. Scumbags. That's why I said, surrender to the will of the Almighty, have faith in Him, absolute faith. And my prayers have been answered. I said to you, in due course, we will win and we will prevail. But let me make it very clear to you, my concept of winning and prevailing over the enemies is quite different from other people's perception. It's not just merely winning a by-election or general election. My concept of winning and prevailing over enemies is to have all the scumbags, the gangster politicians, the whole bunch of them, exposed as traitors, con artists, criminals. And I now call upon all the youth of Malaysia, learn from the experience of the US students. Donald Trump has said he will not allow that slavery to be imposed on the young people. You are now imposed with that slavery by UMNO leaders, especially the con artists. Khairy has not done anything at all, since he became Ketua Pemuda UMNO, to alleviate your problems or have the courage to say this tax will be wiped off, because the tax carried by you all in Malaysia is in ringgit, small in comparison to the US dollars 1.3 trillion. And now, with this expose by Singapore, shutting down BSI Bank, criminal investigation by Switzerland, how can the leaders of NKT say everything is hunky-dory? Shame, shame, shame. They are lying to you. That's why I say we will prevail. Had they not lied and now exposed by independent parties, you will be misled and still believe this bunch of scumbags, liars, cheaters, criminals can still rule this country. Never in the history has a country benefited from having faith in God Almighty. Because by one swoop, by this one expose, the entire corrupt leadership of the Barisan Nasional has been exposed. I can tell you, these people can never, ever regain their stature as honest, just, moral leaders. Throw them out. Throw them out. And unless all this bunch of leaders, which includes some in the opposition, our country cannot be repaired. And let me say, I'm giving a warning to Anwar Ibrahim. We have given you a lot of leeway while in prison, in the hope that in the solitude you will think properly and do the right thing. But instead, you are going against the wishes of the Rakyat to unite together to go against Najib. Last chance. Last chance. Review your actions, rectify your errors, and move ahead with unity with the Raya, or else you'll be left behind. No more chance for you. Likewise, to the leaders of UMNO, please, one more chance. Dump Najib and salvage your reputation, that God may forgive you. If you do penance, apologize to the country, and say, I will not commit any more sins, I will not commit any more corrupt crimes or money laundering crimes, and I will not commit any cover-ups. If you do that, you may have a chance to recover your little reputation left, or whatever is left of your reputation. With that, my dear fellow Malaysians, may I call upon you, all of you, to unite together as one nation. Put Malaysia first, not the scumbags. Put Malaysia first, not Khairy, this hopeless youth leader. Put Malaysia first, not scumbag bankers, liars, cheaters, who rob us blind. As one, we will change Malaysia, reclaim Malaysia, and let hope our future generation will regain the integrity, self-respect, and esteem. With that, I say to you, thank you very much for your attention. May God bless you all, and have a good day. Thank you.